Hey everyone, it's Lucy from KBeautyHobbit.com. Today I have another nail tutorial / review for you. These are new to me brand of nail stickers called Mr. Bauer. They are supposedly very easy to use and do not require any heat. I'm going to show you some of my best tricks to making any stickers last as long as possible, and let's get started. I bought these two designs. This is not PR or sponsored in any way. I purchased these with my own money. I've been deliberating which one to use. I think I'm gonna go with the blue. They look like this. There are 36 strips in here. Inside is a booklet with some instructions. These are usually very basic and make it sound super easy. And not that nail strips are hard to apply, they're not, but I always find that doing a couple extra steps actually prolongs the life of them significantly. And there's a little prep pad, or two of them, and a nail file. Right off the bat, I have to say I love that the sticker sizes are labeled. So once you figure out which numbers work for your nails, for the next time, you'll be able to just use that. Oh, they're upside down. There we go. I knew they didn't look quite right. So for prep, a couple very simple steps. The first thing I like to do is push back the cuticles. I use this metal cuticle pusher. I'll put links to all the nail tools I'm using in the description box, as well as links to where to buy Mr. Bauer and my other nail playlist. I have tutorials for Dashing Diva, both glaze and gloss, and press-ons. I have tutorials for nail log and some other things like Ahura. So you can definitely check those out and see which nail strip might be the right one for you, kind of depending on your preferences. I don't cut my cuticles. You do whatever you like. I'm not a licensed nail tech. I'm just a very enthusiastic person about nails. I've been doing my own for, close to 7 years, I think, at home. But I don't cut my cuticles because a lot of the times they will grow back jagged. Plus, cuticles are there for a reason, to protect you from infection. So I prefer to just push mine back. But you definitely do want to push them back, because putting nail strips over cuticles will not create a good seal. And then that's where you'll have lifting and snagging on the hair and things like that. If I had obvious hangnails or things like that, I would definitely go ahead and remove those. I also do not cut my nails ahead of time. They're very short on purpose. I will trim them after applying the strips. But if you have very long nails and you'd rather trim them a little bit before doing this, that's definitely up to you. Mr. Bauer provided prep pads. I usually use my own little alcohol ones that I get from Costco in huge bulk boxes. But let's see how theirs is. Theirs feels just like an alcohol pad. Some brands have very thin pads that are very papery, and I don't like those. I prefer just the alcohol ones, but these ones are nice, thick, and saturated, so that works. If you have super greasy nails, or if you're using this on younger people, like kids, they tend to get very oily nail beds. You might consider something like this. This is Gelish pH Bond. It's basically like a rubbing alcohol in a bottle. So you can apply that as nail polish before doing nail strips to completely dehydrate, or almost completely dehydrate, the nail and get a really good seal. But if your nails are average and if your hands are clean and dry beforehand and you use the prep wipe, then that should be enough. But I do use the pH Bond just because I have it. It came in a kit with my other Gelish products that I'll be showing you here in a little bit. So I'm not sure which sheet to start with. I guess I'll start with this one. I'm assuming the bottoms are the cuticle side, and that probably makes more sense with the design. So let me see which one would fit my pinky. When in doubt, go slightly smaller. It's a good idea, or if you have to, it's better to be a little bit too small than a little bit too large, because anything that is too wide will be overlapping your skin, and then you will have lifting there. I think the 6 will work fairly well for my pinky, although I do seem to be a little bit in between the 6 and 7, but let's start with the 6, because the 7 just looks way too small. So I peeled that off, being careful not to touch the adhesive on the part that will actually go on the nail. If you have very long nails and you think you'll need the entire length of the sticker, then I recommend using something like tweezers to lift it off the page to avoid touching any of the sticker, like if you're going to need the entire length. And then I use one of these little tools. It's a rubber tip cuticle pusher. They are a dime a dozen on Amazon, very cheap. They make a huge difference because that will allow you to really get a good seal between the nail and the sticker, and that's what we want. When I do my manicures at home, I spend a good amount of time doing it. I'd say like maybe 45 minutes to an hour at a leisurely pace while watching TV. And if I'm going to spend that time, I don't mind doing little extra steps like using the cuticle pusher, this rubber one, but then I want them to last for 2 full weeks. So I'd rather spend 15 more minutes, even though I don't think it's even that long, but I'd rather spend a few more minutes now versus have them lift or peel or something like that in a week versus 2 weeks, if that makes sense. So I push gently all around here to make sure there are no little bubbles and that the whole sticker adheres to the whole nail. At this point, if you see something overlapping or buckling or whatever, remove it. Remove the sticker and redo it. Get a new one or use the other half of it or something, because if it's not working well now, it is not going to last well. Let's do another one and then I'll show you the next step. So, wonder... 5 looks too small, and this is where I really enjoy the sizing listed, because I don't have to guess which one to try next. 4 seems like that might be my size for the ring finger. So we'll line it up as close to the cuticle without going over. These are nice and thick, but not too thick. They feel like they're good quality and not flimsy. They definitely have this good thickness to them, and they seem to be, because they're a little bit thicker, they seem to be smoothing and hiding the little natural ridging I have in my nails. If you have ridging in your nails, you may be tempted to buff that out, and you certainly can, but something to keep in mind is that the parts where the nail has a ridge, let me see if I can find, like this nail right here. I have ridges here. Some of it is age, sometimes it could be other underlying things, but it's almost like having a wrinkle on your skin, it's just on your nail. But the parts where the ridge is, they look like they're thicker, but it's actually a weaker point of the nail. So if you buff it out, you are thinning out the nail in that spot, and as it grows out, you may get splitting in that area. So if I don't have to buff it, I try not to. Now that I rubbed all over my fingernail, I'm going to do that pH bond again to degrease it back up, which my camera doesn't want to focus on. Hello? There we go. Okay, like that. So that size 4 looks pretty darn perfect for me. There's a little bit of a space between my skin here and the sticker, and that is totally fine. Having that little gap is okay. Much better than overlapping the skin. So once these are on, we're going to trim them, and this is where you basically have a couple options. Option number 1 is you just take the file and just use the file to trim off the excess nail sticker. You will go in one direction only, kind of at a little bit of an angle, like this. To be totally honest, I didn't love that method with these specific wraps. It works with some of the thinner ones, like Dashing Diva Gloss. This one's a little bit thicker, and it was just kind of harder to do. I don't know if that's because of the wrap or because of the file that they provided, but what my preferred method is using manicure scissors like these ones and just cutting the sticker It is up to you what you do here. I'm going to actually cut a little bit of my nail with it because my nails are just a tad on the long side for me. And cutting a little bit of the nail with the sticker makes them exactly the same length. So you don't want overhanging of the sticker because again, that would be a prime spot for lifting. And then we can go ahead and pretty it up a little bit with a nail file. And again, I'm going to go just in one direction, going back and forth, side to side, can fray your sticker and your nail. Make sure to go in one direction. That's what they look like right now. I'm going to go ahead and finish both hands, and then we will go over the next step. I am back. I did both of my hands. This is what they look like. I think they look really good. And you could technically stop here. That's all that the brand tells you to do. This is the end, and you're done. This is how much I have left. So that's definitely plenty for another manicure. I like these little hearts over here. Maybe I should put, yeah, let me do that. I'm going to put one of these little hearts on one of my nails that is plain. And this is where tweezers come in handy because I think it'd be kind of hard to peel these without touching the adhesive that's going to have to go on the nail. There we go, okay. Took me a couple of tries, especially with the camera kind of in the way. Right. Well, that's pretty cool. I like that. I think I'm going to leave it like that. I don't want the hands to match too much, so, or maybe I'll do it on the middle one. No, you can't really see it on that dark blue. Okay, but this is what's left, so that's plenty for another manicure for me, and I think some of these bigger sizes would be okay for toes as well. So I think these could work for a pedicure. Mr. Bauer also makes pedipacks specifically if you would rather just get those for the feet. As mentioned, it is absolutely fine to stop here. However, like I said in the beginning of the video, I want my manicures to be as fireproof as possible. I want them to last the full 2 weeks until the nails are just too grown out to look good. So I do this optional step of applying a clear gel over them. I use the Gelish brand. I really enjoy it. I'll put a link in the description box. I got a 4-pack. It had this base coat, the top coat, the bond that we already saw, and then it also came with a bottle of cuticle oil, which I keep by the couch and apply in the evenings. So I really enjoy those. And these are designed, the top coat is supposed to go either over a color or over a base. So I'm going to do base first, even though these are clear. I'll cure it, and then I'll do the top and cure it, and then I'll be done. I will show you one more trick here. These are, by the way, UV protective gloves because I don't want to expose my skin to any unnecessary UV from the lamp. You can get those very inexpensively from Amazon as well. So the first thing I'm going to do is cap the free edge, and that's this edge here of the nail. It has a certain thickness to it, and capping it will prevent the wrap from getting caught on something and lifting. I do that first because then when you go to cover the rest of the nail, it smoothes out that little bump from capping the edge. If you apply the gel to the whole nail first and then cap the edge, you will have that little thickening at the end, and I don't love it. We'll do another nail together, and then I'll finish them off camera. I will cure them and apply a top coat and cure that, and then I will show you the end result. Be careful not to create pools of gel anywhere. You don't want thick parts next to the cuticle or next to anywhere really, because sometimes if you get the gel really thick, then it will actually kind of, I don't even know how to describe it. It will sort of pull and weirdly kind of crinkle under the light if it's too thick. Okay, I'm going to finish the rest and show you what the end result looks like. They are done. I don't know if you can tell the difference on camera, but I can definitely see the difference in using a gel clear coat on top versus no gel, because it makes the tips just look really good. Everything becomes this one unit, because before it was very clear that there's a nail and then this layer of the nail sticker on top. And it also further smoothes any ridging that I might have, especially on my ring fingers. I don't know if you remember this one. This one was my example ridged finger. And look how smooth it looks between the slightly thicker sticker than what maybe some other brands are, and then the clear gel on top. It just looks and feels completely smooth. They feel like glass and they're awesome. And Mr. Bauer is domed, meaning the edges are slightly thinner than the middle to give you that real gel kind of look, because if you go and get your nails done, usually the edges will have a bit less gel and the middle will have a little bit more. So I'm really impressed with these. I really like them. I am going to be posting how they wear on my Instagram stories. It's at KBeautyHobbit. You can find me there. I have a highlight saved for different nails. So while I only have one video usually for each type of nail strip, I will post stories on Instagram with different designs and all those kinds of things. So if you're into that, definitely follow me. But that's it. These are all done. I can go and live my life. I don't have to wait. They're completely cured. There's no drying time or anything like that. So I can just go ahead and move on with my day. Let me know what you thought of this, and if you tried any nail strips. If you have, which ones are your favorite? Maybe you tried Mr. Bauer. Again, I'll put links to everything in the description box. I hope you follow me and find me on my blog, KBeautyHobbit.com, on Instagram, like I mentioned, at KBeautyHobbit. I also run a very large Korean beauty Facebook group called Korean Beauty Fanatics. We just hit 63,000 members this week. So if you're not already in it, I'd love to see you there. Thank you very much for joining me today. I hope you're having a wonderful week. I'll see you in my next video. And until then, please remember to always listen to your skin. Thank you so much. Bye.